What's up, guys? Sitting here in the kitchen, and I just wanted to record a quick video about 2025 and where 2024 took me, and just reflect. I don't have a script. I don't really know what all I'm going to say. All I know is that this has been the weirdest year of my life, but it's also been one of the most rewarding years. It was my best year of business as an online fitness coach. It was, I also saw the best individual month of business I've ever had in my life. And it was during the toughest month of the year for me. And if that says anything, it says that God is so faithful and so good to you, even when you're not on your A game, to say the least. Mentally and everything else. And so let me just explain. In December, and I'm not going to edit this one bit. In December, last year, December 2023, God told me the word of the year is light. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm an online fitness coach. I'm a Christian online fitness coach, shining my light into the fitness industry. Yep, makes sense. And then as the year started, God began to turn on some lights in some rooms, I guess you could say, in my head and in my heart. And one thing about 2023 that started happening too is I started reconnecting to myself. Because I'll be honest, I lost myself to an extent, who I am as a person, as a core, when I was teaching, just because I enjoyed some aspects of teaching. I enjoyed giving back. I enjoyed the connections you make with some of the students, but being more introverted and just being around a class of students all day, it drained the heck out of me. And I lost some passion for some things in my life that really are a big part of what make me me. And I'm talking about music a lot, and that goes back to some past. I was in a really successful band in college, and as soon as we got signed, the record label told us what they wanted us to do, and I was like, let's get after it. I'm here for it. You tell me jump how high, and yeah, let's stay in school. Let's keep our jobs. And then the guys in the band were like, no, we want to tour all the time. Screw what they say. They're doing fine without us. I'm like, what? And so anyway, I left the band because it wasn't going to work out, and the band wasn't a band within a year. So it was the right decision, but it just kind of scarred me a little bit with music. And I've been playing worship and stuff, and I didn't realize until I got out of teaching, it's like God's slowly been turning on lights. Like, hey, you did the best you could. And I don't think I've traveled away from God's will. I think it's just a part of the journey, and Him showing me things, using me in different ways, making me, a more complete person, a better father, a better husband, a better coach, a better musician, worship, leader. And anyway, it's just been interesting. And so I kind of rekindled my love for music this year. And when I, was listening to music, there's these moments. There's just with some songs, some music, you have these moments where you see colors, or you hear colors. Do you ever and I don't know, I've heard some people describe that, and people are like, okay, quit doing drugs. But I mean, it's for real. Some music does that to me. And so I found myself walking around the house with one earbud in a lot, just always listening to music. Spotify said I was in the top 6% of listeners in the world this year. I listened to a lot of music this year. Anyway, I say that to say this. Listening to music is when God would sometimes give me these visions and these thoughts, and I would get this vision of Him randomly turning on a light in my life, in my heart, in my head, and it's okay, let's check out what's in this room. And we turn on the light, and it's oh, and you see some good, but you see some bad. You see some things that you've let fester. I'll use that word. It's a disgusting word. I hate that word, but it's appropriate. And it's things grew that were maybe innocent, and they had there's a reason it was there, and you didn't mean any harm by it, and it was serving a purpose, maybe filling a void in your life from something else, a lack of something else. And to me, I feel like I was, drowning at times in stress and overwhelm. I had a job I didn't really love doing overall, teaching. I loved the idea of it, but the reality of it, I was a miserable person. And I, had some things I guess I grabbed onto, just like grabbing onto anything I could, to fill that emotional void. And it didn't mean any harm, but like over time it kind of like festered, you know what I mean? And so God was just showing me these things all year, and just showing me some patterns and some habits and some tendencies. And he was what he was doing was showing me, like, not just, okay, you suck, not like that, but like to find healing, true healing, it's got to come or go through Christ. Like, God created us. Why would we go to anywhere else but God, our creator, to fix it, right? And for me, it was about finding the root source. And so, like, I started therapy this year. I'll be honest, I put it off, and I used AI at times to talk about some things, and I shouldn't have been talking about the AI probably. And the chat would always, no matter how I tried to jailbreak it, it would always land with, you need therapy. And it's like, no, you're the therapist. And, talked to a couple friends about some stuff too, but I got therapy, and so it's been good. It's interesting when you start therapy, it makes life really difficult, and it brings a lot of stress. And actually in November, so I turned 40 in November, and I was having a really difficult month for a few reasons. Nothing to do with my age. I feel great, but I had one week in particular where just my stomach hurt all week, and I think it was just the therapy and the things that was coming to the surface, the wounds being reopened. It was just a lot. My stomach hurt all week, and I said I was sick on social media. Told people I was sick, had like a stomach bug, and for all I knew, I did, but I was never sick to my stomach or anything. I just had like this line across my stomach, this ache. It's just like, oh gosh, I've never had anything like this. And I truly think it was stress, because one night I went to the restroom, and standing there, and I'm like, I don't feel good. And I start getting cold sweats, start getting nauseous, but not like you're going to be sick nauseous, just like I was about to pass out. And I remember thinking, I should call for my wife. And that's the last thing I remember. And I guess about 20 minutes went by, and I wake up to my wife saying my name over and over. And I slowly come to, and I'm like laying on the floor in the living room. I'm like, this has got to be a dream. This has got to be a dream. What the heck is going on? And I woke up, and I feel wet, and so I lift up my head a little bit, and I feel weak, and I touch my face, and I could tell there's some sweat, cold sweats, but I'm also like, there's blood, and I look on the floor, and there's like a little, puddle of blood. And when I lift my head up, my wife's like, oh man. And then I'm like, it's okay, I'm okay. But I fell, I passed out, and I hit my head right here on my eyebrow. And that's why you had that little bone right there to protect your eye. And so, me being me in the year I had, I'm not thinking like, do I have a concussion? Am I okay? In my head, I'm laying there like half out of it, like, what does this mean, God? Like, where does this fit in, And I think it was like just, and this is December, this was just like a month ago, but I think it was just kind of God saying, hey, we're doing better on some things, but there's still some work to be done. There's still some improvements to be made. And one thing I'd gotten out of the habit of doing consistently this fall that I did for years was waking up early and doing a morning routine. I'm talking a devotion, prayer. I'm talking, I was just making sure I hadn't gone too long here. We're at 10 minutes. I don't want to go much longer than like 12 or 15 at most. But I do a devotion, I pray, I write down some affirmations. Well, first I write down some things I'm thankful for, some gratitude. Gratitude always needs to come first. Then I write down some affirmations, like goals I have for myself, short term, medium term, long term, and like the things I can easily do this week to make it happen. And doing that affirmation every morning, the goal setting, the prayer, the gratitude, it is such a huge part of my day and was always such a huge part of what allowed me to be an online fitness coach full time instead of teaching. And when I got to this fall, I was staying up later and later, just vibing out and listening to music, and that was making it harder to get up in the mornings. And then I'd get up in the mornings at like 6 or 6:30, no morning routine, and just start my day. And that was a mistake. So I got back into my morning routine slowly but surely. I missed some days. I was at 100, but we're back at it now. And so I just wanted to share that, like, you never know what someone's going through. And what I was going through in 2024, like it's just been heavy at times. It's been weird. It's been just a time of reflection. And I think some people would look at it like, bro, you turned 40, it's a midlife crisis. Like, no, it was definitely God. And it was just the timing of the fact of the matter is, this was my, we're going on, 16, 18 months of being a full-time online fitness coach, not on the side of something. And I think God just recognized my desire to continue to grow this brand and to make 413 Barbell Club not just a community of 50 people, which is what it's been for a couple years now, which is awesome. But this needs to be a bigger movement. This needs to be just to know, like, are you a Christian? Are you into working out and fitness? Do you care about renewing your mind, renewing your body? Oh, well, are you in 413 Barbell Club? Why not? And that's kind of where it's been. And so, like, since the fall, since I hit my head, I've had a couple thoughts and ideas. And one of them is a free course I'm launching. It's going to be ready January 1st. Today's December 16th? Yes. So it'll be ready January 1st. And the name of the game of this course is teaching busy parents like me how to be more consistent, how to set more realistic goals for yourself, and how to give yourself grace, how to grow in fitness and health without diminishing family and your relationship with Christ, and all these things that I have found from personal experience. It's easy to push to the side because you're so hyper focused on going to the gym every morning at 5 o'clock or eating clean, meal prepping. And so we wanted to address that in the course. And then if you enjoy the course, I've got a new community called the 413 Method community, where in this community, we're all doing the same workout, or one of the same variations of a workout. And you can hear my dog over here playing. But the 413 Method is just 3 workouts a week. It's the exact routine I personally used in 2014, 2015, and even into 2016 when I cut down for my first bodybuilding competition. And yeah, working out 3 days a week, prepping for a bodybuilding show, like, you get some weird looks. Like, you're doing CrossFit. I'm like, this is not CrossFit just because I'm, doing overhead presses and some front squats and things like that. Like, believe me, it's not CrossFit. But I was saving time in the gym. I was still getting crazy good results. I had people coming up to me asking me if I was on steroids, because when you get small, when you get shredded, you look smaller in your old clothes because they look baggier, right? Because you've lost like 20 pounds or 30 pounds, whatever. But at the gym in a tank top, or you take your shirt off somewhere, people think you're on something because, oh wow, you're like a roadmap. I can see every muscle. I can see veins. I can see, you look huge. You look jacked. And that's kind of the point of the 413 Method. Whether you're trying to get bigger, which I used it to do, or you're trying to shred down, it's a very no nonsense, no jump volume, extra, wasting time in the gym, going to the gym for therapy. No. You go to therapy for therapy. You go to Christ to heal the parts of you that only He can heal. But the 413 method is a no-nonsense way to work out and see good results without spending your most valuable asset, and that is time. All right, so hopefully that made sense. If you want to join the new course, the link is below, and I'm building it right now. I've been working on filming it, and I'm trying to get it just right. I want to give value without talking too much. I've talked too much today, but I'm going to keep this just because it was raw and honest. But the 413 method, it's $47 a month. You can't beat that. For the value we're going to have in the community, a weekly live session where you can ask me anything. You can post in there and ask me anything at any time. Ask me about your nutrition, form, but the course is going to be completely free. The link is below. It's called the Faith and Frameworks Foundation, and I can't wait for it to launch January 1st. All right, we're going to finish cooking some lunch. Y'all have the best day.